Stevie, for those who've never met you before, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Okay, well, I was born in Wales, in Caerphilly, Wales, close whereby Catherine Zeta-Jones and Tom Jones were born. And then I moved to this country when I was 2 years old, and because my parents were Australians. My father was an obstetrician and specialist, and he was studying over there, and we came back here. At about 4, I came to the Gold Coast and grew up on Burleigh Beach, and I went to Burleigh State School and then Miami High School. But about at the age of 7, my mother thought it'd be a good idea to teach me how to dance a girl around a room. So I was kicking and screaming and told her that I hated girls, which is typical. And so my mother took me to my first ballroom dancing class, and I fell in love with the ballroom dancing teacher, who was about 25, I think, at the time. And within about 5 minutes, I was just hooked. And so I went through from the age of 7 to 19, and then turned pro and became a dance pro. And opened up a school and, well, became part of a big ballroom dancing school in Surfers Paradise. My mother and father came to me and they said, "Look, you're a brilliant little dancer, but can you do something conservative for us, son?" And I said, "Well, what? You know, I'm happy to do this." And they said, "Look, can you do a profession?" So my father wouldn't let me do medicine. So I said, "Well, what about law?" So I studied law, went to Queensland University, and then down to the Gold Coast for my professional years. And I became admitted as a lawyer when I was at a very young age, too young. I was 22, and opened up my own practice at Mermaid Beach, Nobby Beach, and that's where I've been ever since. I think with regard to music, I was asked to sing a couple of songs for Miss Miami High. And so I sang the songs with the girl that actually won Miss Miami High that night, and I got a standing ovation. And then I put the guitar away in the cupboard and never saw it again for another 30 years. So my whole life has been the law, criminal law, across the broad spectrum of the law, commercial litigation and whatnot. So. And then in 1996, I met, by bizarre circumstance, Michael Hutchins. And it was via my brother, Colin, who was Michael's partner, like financial partner, not lawyer, financial partner. And I met him briefly 3 times in 1996. And then in 1997, I was asked to go down and run his funeral because he'd passed over. And so I went down there, and my brother was extremely upset about his Passover, so I handled the funeral. And then life went on, and I came back to the law. But in about 1996, about the time I met him, I sort of started, I found my little red guitar. And I'd separated from my former wife in 1995 and got divorced. Because my main focus was the law and looking after daughters, because I've got 3 daughters. And so life was pretty full. But I just sort of started writing the first sort of little remnants of songs, and it's growing. It just I had no idea how much, what was being written. I just catalogued it and put it away. And then in about 2004, it sort of progressed really slowly. And at the same time I was writing I thought I'd try to write motion picture scripts, but only as a result of someone saying you should write a script, you should write a movie script. And I started writing on the 17th of April 2001. But in 1997, when I attended the funeral of Michael, something very strange happened, and as the coffin passed me, I felt like I'd been walked through. And then and even at the cremation, I lost my hearing. I lost my hearing, and it was the middle of summer, but I was freezing. So I went through some sort of strange reaction to it, and then I never gave it another thought. And a few years went by, and I was just writing the poetry and writing little songs and that sort of stuff. And then I started writing a script in 2001.